Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Ricky Warwick here from Black Star Riders, and you are watching CMS TV.
Classic Metal Show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. Kicking off the show tonight with two of the most iconic voices in hard rock and heavy metal is Rob Halford there from the Halford release with Made in Hell. And kicking off the show tonight, we heard Bruce Dickinson from the Accident of Birth release with Road to Hell. And a guy, he's been on a road to hell for probably most of his life. My good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, sir? How we doing?
Are you broadcasting live from Pinball, PA tonight?
It looks that way now, doesn't it?
The answer is yes.
Yes, of course. Of course yes, I am.
I'm in Altoona, Pennsylvania, or not Altoona, but
Aliquippa.
Aliquippa. I knew it started with an A.
Yeah. Pinball, PA has been on the news all weekend here in Pittsburgh, in the Pittsburgh area. So I figured I would share some Pinball PA on the background there.
Yeah. So what's going on at your iconic establishment?
Well, they just decided to come out. WTAE, the Channel 5 or ABC affiliate, just decided to come out and do the 4:00 hour from Pinball PA yesterday. So
for no apparent reason, this was just a random thing.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm fucking coughing. I have not coughed all day. I sit down in here and I'm coughing like an idiot. They reached out to us during the week and were like, "Hey, we'd like to broadcast from your facility. Would you be interested?" And we couldn't have said yes faster.
Yeah, of course.
So we were featured. Shit, it had to be 5 or 6 times in the hour. It was pretty extensive coverage. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Well, good for you. Good for you guys.
And from what I'm told today, about half the people that came in told Zach at the door, "Yeah, I saw you on TV. Didn't even know you existed."
Wow, that's the power of marketing and advertisement.
That was made my life a whole lot better today. Just hearing that.
Yeah, so, good. Hopefully you'll get some repeat business out of that.
Well, I think dude, you've been there. Once you've been there once, you want to go again because you can't play everything in 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, too bad it's in such a remote area.
Yeah, no. You know what? If it was in downtown Pittsburgh, it would be just overwhelmed with everything else. But the fact that it is a little bit out of the way, we get all those people that don't want to go to Pittsburgh over and over and over again. So we get tons of repeat business from people that, Pittsburgh's far enough away with the highways and all the bullshit of driving into a city, that it's actually good. We're not so far that it's too far to go, but we're just far enough where we don't get all the bullshit taxes and laws and legal bullshit of Pittsburgh. So
I get you. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. To answer Killer Miller's question, yes, we have Battlezone there. We have everything there.
Yeah. You got what, 300 games to pick from over there?
425, Neeley.
425.
Yep.
Actively running and on the floor.
That are active to play. Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go. So there's no end to the entertainment that could be had. Burger time, here I come.
That's right. So
give me a little Dig Dug and a little Galaga. I'm happy.
I'm with you on the Dig Dug too. It's like Dig Dug. That's all the more I ever need is Dig Dug.
Give me some Dig Dug, give me some Galaga, and I'm all happy and shit.
That's right.
Give me some Centipede.
That's right.
Or some Frogger or Crazy Climber.
Yeah, any of those are good.
All the classics.
Yep, they're all there.
Yeah, that's how I spent most of my senior year in high school, was playing those games because they were basically fresh off the presses, as it were, and that's before home video game systems were real prevalent. I mean, they had the Atari system and stuff, but it still was nowhere close to playing the real games that you threw quarters in.
Right. Too funny.
Yeah. So I enjoy those games even today, and it's funny because if and when I have an opportunity to stop by your place over there and I do play those games, it's interesting that my recollection and skill level on any of those games has not really diminished after all these years.
Oh, you're better than me, sir, because I will tell you, every time I go in there, my game back in the day was always Defender.
Yeah.
And then Stargate after. I mean, I must have pumped in. Believe me, I put more than enough quarters in to buy one of each for the house. And I used to be pretty good. I mean, I used to be able to play like a half hour or so on a quarter.
Right.
I don't know what my scores were, but I was always, pretty good at it and could play really fast. And now I go in there and I'm done in like a minute and a half. It's like dead, And then all the people that work there for me, they all just come over and laugh at me. And you fucking suck.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I suck because my job isn't to be the best at playing the games.
Right.
My job's to bring asses into the door, and that's what I do.
Exactly. Well, very good. Well, this week was an eventful week for you. I'm assuming you got out of the house and hung out with your boy Dave Landau. Yeah,
I did. Yes, went out on Thursday night. Me, Kelly, John, Stephanie, and my friend Seth and his wife Heather. We went out, and it was an interesting show to say the least. It was definitely different. Unbeknownst to us, we get to the show and they say it's not just straight comedy. It's like an interactive show where they're gonna interact with the audience. So the comedians more or less were asking questions of the crowd.
Yeah, that's called crowd work.
Yeah, but that's all it was. There was no comedian getting up in the middle and saying, you know what, man, I was out and tested my car, and guess what happened? There was none of that.
Yeah, there was no jokes.
Yeah, it literally all was based off of crowd interaction, which I had never been to one of those before, and to be honest, I never wanted to be in one of those before, because there's nothing worse than when you're, it's the reason you don't sit in the front row at a comedy show.
Right, sure.
It is 100% the reason you don't sit in the front at the comedy show, because you just don't want that attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I'll be honest, there was for whatever reason there was four sets of people. Or five actually. Now I'm thinking about it. There was three openers. There was Dave and another guy that did their thing together. And then there was the, whatever you call the first guy that just kind of bounces up in between each guy.
Okay.
Tells two jokes and gets the fuck off. There was that guy. And those four guys stunk. They were so bad. and the worst part about this thing was the club owner didn't even announce on the flyers or anything that Dave was going to be there on the Thursday. All that was on the flyers was the Friday and the Saturday.
Okay.
So it was like half empty at best. It really was probably 50 people.
Really? You would have thought with Dave being so much in the news these days, and with him obviously being part of the Crowder thing, and whatever, you would have thought that would have been a highly publicized show.
You would have thought, but there was no announcement of the Thursday. I'd imagine that yesterday and today were sold out, but because they were on the flyer, but it just wasn't announced that he was going to be there Thursday. So it was half empty, which made it even worse. So you take a half empty room and then you add bad comedians that are just not doing any justice for the show. It was brutal. It was you don't want to order your drink too loud, quiet. It really, for a lot of it was like, I'll take a Jack and Coke. It's like, come here. I'll take a Jack and Coke. Because you didn't want to be the last thing, since they were going to the crowd.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be the one that was heard making any noise.
It's like, yeah. Did you say you want a Jack and Coke, sir?
Yeah. What are you drinking? Yeah, exactly. And they got one guy that way. What are you drinking, sir? I was like, oh my God. This ain't gonna be good.
Right. Are you drinking that because you're trying to get bombed because of the company you're with tonight, or what's the deal?
Well, and then literally they were doing this where they would go to the front of the stage where the lights kind of cut with the dark and doing this number so that they could kind of see who was out there. And then they were literally going around. What about you? What do you do? Where do you work? What do you are you married to her? Oh, it was excruciating. But
what brings you out tonight, sir?
And that was it. And then, oh my God, there was a couple of guys that came like together, like two guys. Oof, not good. They just got fucking pummeled. Just fucking pummeled for being fags and whatever.
Were they fags or just?
No, they were just like two college friends or something. And unfortunately, I know this because they literally told their life story. That was probably the biggest drawback to this whole thing was not, I mean, it was kind of funny that they would react to whatever the guys were doing and it was real loose. It was real loose and it was funny, some of it. But there was a couple of people in the crowd that needed to shut the fuck up. There was one guy over on the corner, and he talked more than the comedian on the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, I drove in from Detroit and I work as a plastics engineer, and you know what? I've made this and that, and I never worked at this, and I got my start working in paper. So they were making like the paper and plastic jokes, and but this guy wouldn't shut the fuck up. And it was like, oh my God, shut the fuck up, dude. So it was just, then John is yelling out. John, of course, he had to get his 2 cents in. So he yelled out, and then he was, kind of lambasted. Then he yelled out about me during Landau, and Landau busted my chops, which was funny. That was actually funny. Fucking John yells out, "Hey, Dave, do you like your website?" And fucking Landau, without even hesitating, "No." I was like, what the fuck? And he goes, "Oh, Chris, didn't see you there." So he busted my balls a little bit, which was funny. It was fun. It was just those opening comics. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was one dude that was there. I don't know his name. He somehow is associated with Rover or Rover Fest or something.
Okay.
This was the only guy that seemed to have like a theme to his set. His theme was, I'm 37 and I have a 2-year-old. It couldn't have been more mind-droning for me because it was literally, so changing diapers, and I got to be responsible, and I got to buy baby food, and I got to buy, and it's like, no one cares. No one cares about this aspect of your life.
Right.
Nobody cared about it when that was my life. Nobody cares about it in his life. Nobody cares about it in anybody's life. It's the time of life you leave private.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives a fuck? But it was fun. I mean, it was fun to get out. You'll be stunned by this. I didn't drink too much. I didn't smoke too much.
Okay.
A very conservative night for me with maybe 3 total drinks and maybe 2 hits on the weed pen. Well, so for me, usually I'm fucking throwing down when I'm going out, but I just didn't. I just was kind of like, I'll just hang out and keep it light and and not go to jail or anything. So
right.
I was like, yeah, good. So fun time. It was definitely fun. It was great seeing Dave. It was, Dave was in like the most uncomfortable position because I don't know if you even saw it, but same day as Dave's there was the day that the ring video got leaked to the media about Crowder bashing.
Yeah, lambasting his wife.
Yeah, bashing his wife, just mentally fucking beating her up.
Sure.
So, of course, that question got thrown up to Dave, and he just he did his best to kind of brush it off and not talk about it. But did find out more about what's going on with the Blaze, though. That's he's gonna have and it's bigger than I thought it was, which is kind of cool, actually. I thought it was just gonna be like a once a week type thing. It's 3 days a week.
Wow.
So he's gonna be doing like sketch comedy plus kind of working the table 3 days a week. So that should be good. That'll be worth whatever the subscription is, I guess.
Sure.
So yeah, overall good time. Good times hanging out with Dave, and after we did hang out with him for a couple of minutes and just shot the shit, which was cool. But yeah, good times, man.
So is he doing a 3-day stand there, a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tonight's his last night, I believe, and he's driving home tonight back to Detroit.
Wow. Well, good on him. I'm glad to see he's able to get out from under that dark cloud and be able to actually speak freely. And he's got his own thing going on, and he isn't stifled.
Yeah.
And is able to do what he does. There's nothing like the freedom of being able to be who you are.
Exactly. So yeah, good times. Definitely was a fun time to be out, and it was just fun to be out just in general.
Right.
I'm so sick of fucking looking at my TV. You don't even know. So
was Dave able to spend very long with you, or just a couple of minutes?
You know what? We didn't stay that long. There was everybody in the whole room wanted to meet him, and
sure.
We hung out till near the end, but then there were people behind us, so we didn't stay that long. We stayed long enough to get, we wanted to get Seth a picture for his show and whatnot. So we stayed long enough to get him a picture. And maybe 5 minutes. We just kind of shot the shit for 5-8 minutes.
Right.
Just quick. I talk to him all the time. So it's
I know, but you don't see him face to face.
Yeah.
Yapping on the phone is one thing, but you get a chance to kind of hang out for a few minutes. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, well, next time he's through, which from every indication will be sooner than later, we're gonna go grab some dinner or something. So
that's good.
So we'll deal with that then. But yeah, for Thursday, he was meeting with other people and blah blah blah, and I was just like, I'm not gonna stand in the way here. So all good.
Excellent. Well, since you brought this up, you brought up the whole, the Ring camera interaction there of Crowder and his wife and all the nonsense going on, and with him, and not that it's any of our business, but I know that you watched Crowder because of Dave.
Sure.
Is this something you'll watch now or not?
What, Crowder?
Yeah.
Haven't watched a day since look, I started hearing about some Crowder stuff back now that I could talk about it. And I even asked him last night if it's okay if I talk about most of the stuff that I know.
Sure.
And I started hearing stuff around September of last year.
Right.
And, he started telling me about how unhappy he was, and it was just fucked up, and, some personal things about Crowder that I won't get into, but, I started hearing about this stuff. And so, yeah, at that point, it was like, I don't know if you're like this. I'm definitely, I fight it with music. I'm not as good with it with people outside of music, but when I hear that somebody's a cunt and they're being cunty to one of my guys, one of my friends or whatever.
Sure.
I have a hard time getting any entertainment out of it at all.
I agree. I completely agree. This is why I'm asking you the question.
I just couldn't watch it anymore. I watched a couple episodes, and I could tell that Dave was pressing and not just being his normal, goofy throw a line here and there self. Like, it was really controlled, and a part of it was because I knew it. I didn't know about the fucking be quiet light or whatever. I didn't hear that until this week. But
Dave don't talk light.
Yeah, the Dave don't talk light. I didn't hear about that until the Malice interview, but it was very obvious to me watching that it wasn't the same as it had been, and I just turned it off. I just was like, you know me, I don't give a shit about the fucking news anyway.
Right.
It's everything for me to catch Jericho Green once or twice a week and Styx once or twice a week. So to sit there and watch 2 hours of it trying to do humor and seeing my friend clearly not being able to do what he wants to do, it was like, I'm done with this shit.
Right.
Well, I still do have the cup. Yeah, I have the cup, right?
Yeah.
There. But I just kind of, I sort of checked out last September. So
I get you. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because obviously that's getting a lot of play, and people who have interest in that,
sure,
play, or who have been fans, or who watch the show. I've never been a fan. I can't say that I've watched a whole episode of Crowder. I've watched a couple of minutes here and there, and
Sure.
yeah, never was my cup of tea, and it was just like, it's all right, and I've watched it just to, out of curiosity to see what Dave brought to the table early on when he first joined Crowder after leaving Cumia.
Right.
And it was like, okay. And then I don't think I've ever watched it since.
Right. I did ask him about coming on here, and he said, that his answer was not surprising. He said he'll absolutely do it if there's a weekend that he's not touring.
Right, of course.
So maybe not. He said he'd like to do it when the Blaze thing comes together.
Right.
Like when it's about to launch, so that he can get, and maybe we pre-record it. I don't know. I mean, we may just pre-record it and run it.
Right.
Run it during the show, or run it as a extra or a bonus or whatever, something. But I mean, we'll make it happen, because I know you want to talk to him. But
sure,
it's just it's with that guy specifically. He works every Friday, every Saturday at night.
Right.
It makes it really hard to book anything.
Yeah.
And the last thing he wants to do after doing 2 sets is then go back to the hotel room and then fire up the old fucking StreamYard.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yuck it up with a couple of knuckleheads.
Yeah. Here, let me talk more after I just told the same jokes twice in fucking 2 hours.
Right. Absolutely. Well, that little thing that he did with Cumia this week was pretty funny.
It was great.
I loved how Cumia, they made up that little graphic of the don't talk.
Yeah, that was funny. It was good to see him back on Cumia. I mean, that was, and not really have any. I mean, it didn't seem like they had any problems really. No. So it would be nice. I mean, I don't know this obviously, but I would suspect you're never going to see him come back to Cumia's show. But I mean, it'd be nice if he checks in every once in a while and stops in, and seemed like both sides were okay with that. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of restrictions, if any, that the Blaze is going to put on Dave for, appearing on different people's video cast or anything like that. I wonder if they'll put any kind of restrictions on that.
Well, they never did before, when he was a team member of a Blaze show with Crowder.
Right.
So, I mean, who knows? Look, the Blaze probably wants him to do any show he can possibly do to promote, subscriptions, because it's a subscription-based service. So
right.
I'm sure they probably are like, hey, go do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Sure.
Just say the name and where to click this to sign up.
Right. Absolutely.
So.
Oh, good. I'm glad you had a good visit with Dave, and I'm glad he's doing well. Of course, I don't know Dave at all, but he seems like a pretty good guy, and Cumia had nothing but good things to say about him, saying that he was a decent, hardworking, honest guy.
Sure.
And I believe that, and I don't think you'd have anything to do with him if he wasn't.
Not at all. So
it's just the people that we elect to be a part of our life are usually pretty decent people.
Well, we try to.
Yeah, exactly.
We certainly have run into some cocksuckers in our lifetime, but
yes, we have.
Most of them no. But and I won't get into who this week, but
speaking of which,
yes.
You also had sort of a controversial show on Chris Aiken Presents this week.
Yeah, which I'm not going to talk a whole lot about, other than to say I'll leave it as sources outside of my control and outside of anything that I'm worried about speaking about, but could cause somebody else on my show a problem with their job.
Right.
I've been asked not to talk about it yet, so apparently it's very dicey over there.
Yes.
Apparently there's choppy waters on the Monsters of Rock cruise. I'll put it that way.
Is that happening this week?
They're on the boat now.
They're on the ship.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I spent a good part of the week with you need to take this down, you need to take that down, we need to edit this. And I was like, not how things run over here, man.
Right. Exactly. So were you asked by the main guy to do something or not?
There are sections that are not up.
Okay. All right.
There are segments that are not up.
Okay.
For now. I did not delete them. I just privated them.
Yeah, of course. I get you.
We'll see how everything shakes out. But.
Right. Well, if you haven't caught one of Chris's and Eric Ferrantino's show, Chris Akins Present on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Is that 9?
No, 8.
Or 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
8 to 10-ish, I guess. But yeah, of course, as always happens, the fucking controversy finds me. I wasn't even doing anything.
I know. You just get dragged into it,
You know, I literally did. I have done nothing in this thing. Nothing wrong.
You just happen to be there.
Yeah, but I get sucked into it.
Right.
Like, this is fun. And of course, everything blew up Thursday night when I'm not at home. I was over at Kelly's beforehand, having a little drink and a little smoke, and fucking my phone starts blowing up. Hey man, can you take this down? Can you take that down? I'm like, oh,
dude, I'm not home.
I'm not home. I'm like, oh my God. Then I'm getting explanations to why. And it's like, I really don't care. Y'all figure out your all shit.
Right.
So,
right.
And I'll just leave it at that.
So did this Monsters of Rock cruise? Is this one of the ones that leaves from Florida?
Yeah, they left. They left this afternoon, actually, maybe 4 hours ago, I think, from Port Canaveral.
Okay,
Florida. That's Florida,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they left 4 hours ago, and apparently they're all on the boat. Okay,
all right, fair enough.
I cannot imagine how uncomfortable that is.
Yeah. Well, when I went on that Kiss cruise back in October,
right.
Flew out to LA on Sunday.
Right.
And we boarded the boat Monday, and that sailed until Saturday morning.
Right.
That's just a whole weird thing. You get on this boat and you just sail for five almost days. It's just like, what the fuck? This is weird, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they're doing today.
You just get up and you just wander around the boat and look at the ocean and like, what do you do now? It's like,
hey, is that a dolphin?
Exactly. I don't know. I unless I was part of a group going or something like that, asked to go again, I would never do that on my own. It doesn't even appeal to me to go, what? I think I'll take a cruise.
Yeah, I liked it, but not enough to do it again.
Yeah.
I would be interested in not Monsters of Rock, because I don't listen to enough of that music anymore, but maybe like 70 million tons of metal or whatever that cruise is.
Sure.
It's more like the Vicious Rumors and the Metal Church type bands.
Right.
I'd be interested in going on one of those. I liked the cruise. I had fun when I went on a cruise, and Lord knows you get that drink fucking package for $350 and you're good. You stay hammered.
Well, of course I wasn't hammered on that cruise. I had a couple cocktails every evening or so, but that was not the extent of that. But it was just meeting a few people or seeing some people I hadn't seen in a long time. That was good. Meeting,
Paul Stanley,
got to meet him and, chit chat with him for a couple of minutes and meeting Tom Zutot and, getting to be friendly with him and getting to know, what's his name? The fifth lead singer.
Roy Cathy.
Yeah, Roy Cathy, seeing him and then catching up with like Phil Lewis and Tracy Guns and, obviously hanging out with the Lynch Mob guys and that was all fun. That was a good time.
Yeah. I mean, if you're part of the I'll say staff or the
entourage
entertainment, I guess, then that's fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me going that one time, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to go. And, the only thing that I hated on the cruise was the fucking dress up dinner night. I don't know if they even do that on the Monsters cruise, but
there's no formal dinners or anything like that. Yeah. You just schedule your own time, like the hibachi.
Sure.
Don took us all out to the hibachi restaurant there, you know.
Yeah. Well, for our cruise, part of it was every person on the cruise had one night and time for like a
formal dinner.
A formal dinner.
Uh-huh.
And it fucking sucked. It was the most uncomfortable my ex loved it, but I hated it because it was like, I'm wearing a suit. It's 900 degrees outside because we're near the fucking equator.
That's funny. You packed a suit on for the cruise?
Yes.
Wow.
I had to.
Well, I get it. I mean, it's just funny to me that you would pack a suit.
Well, I mean, it was in the bag thing, whatever.
I know, I get it.
But it sucked because the only time it came out the bag was for that 1 hour to go sit there and have a fucking 5-course whatever.
Right.
And you know, for people that hear that and think, well, that's great, a 5-course meal. There's nothing worse than a multi-course meal. Because what do? They bring you fucking nothing as each course. It's like 5 doses of nothing. Instead of getting a steak and potatoes and, you know, some shit, it's like, okay, well, here's a tablespoon of fucking salad. Here, eat that. Now here's
a dollop of this mashed potato or something like that, you know.
With some weirdly carved carrot on top of it or some shit. It's fucking awful. Then they bring you a steak. It's fucking it's half the size of a McDonald's patty.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's your wonderful steak.
Right.
Steak tartare, which means what? Uncooked.
Yeah, it's uncooked.
Yeah, thanks. It's fucking fabulous. Love it.
Now bring me some food.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I kid you not, and admittedly, this is fat guy telling fat guy stories. We did that fucking thing, and it was not an hour later. I was over at one of the
buffets.
One of the buffets, just grabbing a plate of shrimp and a fucking burger or something.
And the wife's like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
you ate a 5-course meal."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I sure did. A 5-course meal. It was like about 300 calories. It was fucking garbage."
Yeah.
So I went right over to the buffet and was like, give me half a plate of shrimp and a fucking burger.
Right.
Fill me up on something here.
Yeah. They had a 24-hour buffet type thing on the ship, and then they had the artist lounge, but the artist lounge only operated certain times of the day and stuff. So, if you didn't catch it during the times that they had stuff going on in there, you might as well just go to the buffet, you know? Yeah.
Well, the buffets are open, what, like 18 hours a day, or some on the boat that are 24.
Well, that one was 24.
Okay. Yeah. I know on our boat, there was one buffet that was open 24 hours, but it was kind of the bad end of the boat, if you know what I mean.
A bad end of the boat.
Yeah, it wasn't the best neighborhood. It was right next to the stairs to steerage, I guess. I don't know. It just wasn't the good end of the boat, so we didn't go over there very often.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I went when I did go and experience that, because I'd never been on a cruise before. But as far as like electively going on a cruise, I don't think I would ever do that.
Yeah. Well, I might go one more time, but it would have to be the right circumstance. I don't know. I think I'm over vacations just in general.
Well, yeah, you Mr. Vacation over there.
Well, I never have been. Well, honestly, dude, it's like, when I was in the service, I spent so much time on planes.
Sure.
You know, because I was stationed in Korea, and everything that we did was a 9-hour flight. Everything. Go back to the States. And a lot of it was go back to the States for a meeting. Literally. We would fly to Fort Riley, Kansas for a fucking meeting. So we would fly 10 hours. We'd get there. We'd go to sleep for a couple hours, get up. I take the general to the meeting. He goes to the meeting, and it was right from there back to the airport on the base, or whatever base was closest to fly out of, and then another 9 hours back to Korea.
Right.
It sucked. And I mean, this dude he was retiring. So all he wanted to do was see the world. So I mean, fucking A, it was like, all right, well, here's 14 hours to fucking Australia. Here's 7 hours to Alaska. Well, let's go to LA. Well, let's go to fucking, Fort Drum, in New York. It was just constant fly. Every week it was flying for 6 good months. So between that and then you probably remember this. Remember that job that I had working for the company that made the trouble ticketing systems, and I spent all my time in Texas?
Yeah, I remember you going to Texas quite often.
Yeah. Well, that was another job. It was like fly out on Monday, go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fly home on Friday, home Saturday, Sunday, back on a plane Monday, back to fucking, this week it's Austin. This week it's Houston. This week, it was just, I was working in Texas, but based out of Ohio. And I just was like, I've had it. I don't want to fly anymore. I don't want to travel. I find getting to my fucking kitchen to be travel anymore. It's too much. It's too far for me anymore. It's like,
sure, absolutely.
If I could have DoorDash in my kitchen, that would be even better. So I wouldn't even have to go in there. They could just
DoorDash to you in your kitchen.
Yeah, if I could just order it on the app and it would come from my refrigerator to my bedroom, that'd be great.
Yeah. now you're living the life of the Jetsons.
I am pretty much. I wish I was. Dude, pretty much, I have a robot that does my fucking vacuuming like the Jetsons had, the little Roomba.
Your little Roomba, yeah.
I'm getting there. I want the full Jetsons lifestyle.
Nice. So funny. Well, I'm glad you had an eventful week, both good and bad.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to just get out and, look, it's just good to start getting out again and doing some things. And there's some shows coming up that I'm going to definitely get my ass out to. The arm is still what it is, but, I'm just dealing with it. I'm just I dealt with it the other night. It was what it was. It hurt, but I got home, laid down, and stopped hurting. So
now, are you still immense pain as you had been?
It's not immense. It's just like, even like right now, it's like this whole half of my arm just feels dead.
Yeah.
Like I've been moving furniture all day.
Mm-hmm.
When you move furniture all day and your arms just hurt. That's what I've got. It's just a steady, sluggish pain.
It's a dull ache.
Yeah. It's not intense anymore, but there's definitely still something wrong with the shoulder, and there's still something wrong up here in my neck, but whatever. I am not letting this fucking shit stop me anymore. I can't stay in bed any longer.
Sure.
I can't do it. I've been in bed so long now, I'm wondering if half the reason my neck fucking hurts is from being on pillows for fucking 3 months. Just from being on pillows instead of sitting up and holding my head up like a fucking human being. I'm wondering if that's part of the reason my neck hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But so I'm doing stuff. I actually started mixing in very lightly some weights in the last week or so. Not with this arm, but
right.
I've got the Nautilus machine here, so I've got the pull down thing.
Right.
So I just put real lightweight on it. I'm just using one arm to kind of pull and get my shoulders moving a little bit, or shoulder moving a little bit. And I'm doing DDP without the floor work because I can't put any weight on the one shoulder, but doing what I can do, I guess.
Right.
That's all I can do.
Well, at least you haven't just given up and you just keep on trying. So that's a good thing.
That's going to be what it's going to be. If this is the way it's got, if hurting like this is the way it's going to be, then I got to figure out how to deal with it. Because I can't just lay in bed for the rest of my fucking life.
I agree with you there.
So I just got to suck up the pain and drive on.
Very good. Well, excellent. I unfortunately, I don't have too much to report. The only thing that I did aside from work my ass off this week was I did take your suggestion and I did watch that Beef, 10 episodes of Beef on Netflix. I did watch that.
Like it or no?
Yeah, I did. I liked it up until the last episode, and then the last episode just got weird. It was just
that last when they were drugged out or whatever, and
getting some kind of poison plants out in the desert.
Yeah, it was the last episode was weird, and I'll tell you the part that I don't understand even today. And I've asked other people, and other people either don't remember it or don't understand it. What was the weird creature? I guess the clown lady or whatever that she saw from time to time.
Well, that was the ugly side of her. That's how she.
Is that what that was?
That was her ugly side, because if you saw her poking out from under the blanket,
right,
she didn't think she was an attractive girl, and so that's why she didn't want to get out from under a blanket when she was letting guys bang her in the ass.
Okay.
You know? So,
yeah.
so that was just her. That was just her insecure, ugly side.
Okay. Because they popped it up at the weirdest time, like the one part where she was kind of standing outside watching the family go in the house, and it was like, and I was like, what is that all about? You know, I was like, what does that even mean? I didn't get that part, and yeah, I agree with you. That whole, they should have ended with them dying, going off the cliff. They should have ended at a 9 episode, and they died.
And how about the crows talking to each other?
How about what?
The crows, when they went over the cliff,
yeah,
the crows were talking to each other. Hey, there's that lady that and they're like talking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then she picks up that gun, and then the crow flies and flies around her head and makes her, lose track of Danny, and he run off. That was a weird thing.
Yeah, it was. The whole thing was odd.
I mean, the main character is that Ollie Wong. She's a stand-up comedian, and I don't know if you ever seen her stand up, because I know you don't like female stand-ups.
No, I don't watch that.
She's pretty dirty.
Okay,
she's a pretty foul-mouthed, dirty. I mean, she has no problem spouting out the cunt word and shit like that.
Right.
But she's a filthy Asian.
Right. What is this nonsense? You've got 50 people in here now live talk. No, that's not the show we do.
What is that? What does that even mean?
I guess we're supposed to say, hey guys, what are you chatting about? Hey, here's a clip. Here's a clip. Here's a clip. Here's a super chat. No, that's not what we do.
What did that say? It said there's 50 people in here, and what?
Talk to us.
What does that mean? We're here like...
All right, Joey, what would you like to talk about?
What is that? What is TJE?
I don't know. It must be some other show or something.
Gossip.
The View? Just spelled wrong?
Okay. We're here like The View.
They're gossiping patiently.
I don't even know what that means.
It means that they're in the chat room chatting, and
that's what it's there for, is for you to chat amongst yourselves.
No, it must be there for us to chat with them. That's what it's apparently there for us to chat with them.
Okay.
No.
We're chatting at you. You're here to listen to us pontificate. Now listen to us, fucker.
Listen or watch or don't. How about that? If we see something funny that we want to talk about, we'll talk about it. If not, fuck off.
Talk to us. Don't
give me attention. Wait a minute. Breaking news. Here's a new Jason or Joey H thing. Neeley, talk about docking and go.
What do you want me to talk about? What would you like me to tell you?
Oh, tell them about the new record. Tell them about the enough. That's not what we do.
Well, they want us to do crowd work, Chris, just like what you did on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, let's work the crowd. What brings you in here to the chat room tonight, sir?
Yeah, why are you watching? Tell us what you'd like us to talk about. We're just here to talk about your ideas.
What part of the country are you from, sir? Are you in the country?
Yes, this is worldwide. This is a worldwide broadcast. And Joey H says, let's talk about docking. So let's do it.
Glad you're here, Joey H. I got news just for you.
Joey, we would talk about it, but you haven't contributed at least $5 to our super chat. So unfortunately, we can't.
I don't see any money in that tip jar.
No, none. We can only do that for tips, for super chat money.
Right.
Because that's how this works, is you beg everybody for fucking $5 on the super chat, and then we'll read your post.
Right.
And then we'll talk about it. Ugh. Is that really the fucking show you want us to do?
I want to be spontaneous and answer questions you want to know about.
Yeah. I don't know why, and this is another one. People are asking me where the Rumble feed is. I'm looking right at it. I think it's there. Let me look.
Hey, Chris, where's the Rumble feed?
Yeah. It's on Rumble. Look up The Classic Metal Show Live 4/29/23. It is there. I see it right now.
All right.
I'm literally looking at it, me talking to me.
Can you throw the link in the chat room, Chris?
Oh, sure. Why not?
I can't type this in.
Why not?
Could you throw that link in the chat room?
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't and I won't. How about that?
Oh, my God. That's hysterical.
Well, it says Rumble ain't working. Well, then fuck you. Don't watch it there. Try Odyssey. Try CMS TV. Try YouTube. Try Twitter. It's on all those places. So if it ain't on Rumble, I don't know what to tell you. It's on my Rumble. Maybe it's just centered for me and the other four people that seem to be watching it. So
sure,
whatever. I give a fuck.
I love it.
Wait a minute. Joey has something else to say. Rumble ain't working, Neeley. Let's talk about it.
All right.
So, Neeley, you saw that Rumble has a hit piece out on it this week, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yes, there's a hit piece. Styx Hexenhammer. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to just randomly pick clips that people are saying and talk about this shit. No. Just stop. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know why you guys can't see it. I see it. There is a link. I'm not going to put it up.
I am actually pulling it up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I literally I'll put it on the fucking.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it's share screen. Here's the screen.
Yep, there it is.
I'm looking right at it. I think it's there. Let me look.
Hey, Chris, where's?
It's right fucking there. You know, Jesus Christ. Neeley, I think we got a new topic. Joey H says, we love you guys. Okay. Well, let's talk about the love, Joey. Why do you love us so much? Why are we so fucking great? Joey, another comment, please. Tell us exactly why you love us so much. We love us so much because we know that we're damn funny. But why is it that you love us so much? Just put $10 in the tip jar and we'll talk about it. Ugh. Is that really what you want?
No.
Is that really what you guys want us to turn this fucking show into? Shameless begging for fucking tip jar money?
Coins. Give me coins.
Well, Neeley, we got a $20 super chat that says the other guys suck. Eddie Trunk sucks. You guys are great. Well, thank you so much for the money.
Yeah. I want to be like Mario and Super Mario and go ting.
Yeah, exactly.
Ting, ting. hit the little coin jar up there. Ting.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joey, $10. We love you guys because you like steak. $10. All right. Thank you for the $10. It's the only way we'll put you up there.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Is that
see, you asked for it. Now you got it.
Yeah, now you got it. Now you got my attention in the chat room. Now I'll put everything up there. Joey has another question. No, that ain't it. Where is it? I can't even find it. The chat's going so fast.
It's scrolling quickly.
It's scrolling too fast for me. Holy shit. Will Chris Holmes be interviewed by Eddie Trunk? Neeley, comment?
I believe he will.
I agree with you, Neeley.
All right, next question.
Next question. Is there anything else, Joey? I want you to get your money's worth.
Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Please don't roast me for being an Eddie Trunk caller, but I do have a serious question.
All right, ask away. You have a bit of an accent, sir. Where are you calling from?
Lakeland, Florida.
All right, ask away.
So I'm actually calling in to see if you guys have heard anything about Bobby Blotzer. And again, this is not an Eddie Trunk question. I did do my homework. He hasn't posted on social media since September of last year. But just any updates on Bobby? He used to always post on social media, and anything you guys can give me, I'd appreciate. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill. I have not heard anything from Bobby in a while. I think he's running Stanley Steamer carpet cleaning.
I don't know that he's doing that. I think, and it's a big think here. There's no knowledge behind it. There is no secret information from Eric or the Piercy camp or anything. This is just 100% speculation that there's something in that last settlement that stopped any and all conversation about Rat from former members of Rat.
Okay.
That is, again, that is 150% speculation. I have nothing to back that up, but it seems like it times right.
All right.
It just seems like it times out exactly in that timeline. So
sure,
that is my guess, but I do not know.
Now, I know that BMG is set to release the, 5 Rat albums?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in June?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know that BMG has paid some pretty good sized dollars.
Sure.
I don't know how that money got split up in the Rat camp.
Yeah,
I know how it got split up in the Dokken camp when they released the Dokken 4 album set a couple of months ago. But I know that Rat catalog is worth as much of that, if not quite a bit more. So I don't know who got what and how much each member may have gotten from that. But I'm sure Blotzer must have gotten something from that.
And if it's in payments, probably doesn't want to fuck it up somehow.
That's kind of where I was going with that.
Right.
So maybe it's best that he stays off social media and really doesn't have anything to say until maybe he's offered an interview to discuss the release of the box set that's coming out in June.
Yeah, and maybe, again, we don't know, but with Steven kind of doing the wrap-up tour, the legacy announcements and all that stuff, maybe they're in talks to do one final thing together. And again, that is 1,000% me guessing.
There's no inside baseball here.
None. No words, no comments, not even a suggestion of it to anybody named Stephen Piercy or related to his camp. This is just me guessing based on what would be the smart thing. The smartest thing would be if those 4 remaining guys could find a way to do a New York, Chicago, LA. You know, that would be my guess, would be one final, kind of like Dokken did with the Badlands Pawn and then the Japan shows.
Yeah, the Beast from the Return of the Beast or whatever they called that.
Yeah.
Return to the East.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would make sense.
I agree. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hi, one quick question.
Okay, Tim, ask away.
Okay. You mentioned about Dokken and their box set that they did with Rhino, and now Rat's doing a box set with Rhino and et cetera, et cetera. BMG.
It's in cooperation with Rhino. It's BMG/Rhino doing that. But go ahead.
Yeah. So if these bands, and I'm pretty sure that Dokken don't own their masters, and neither does Rat. The only band that I know of that owned their masters and sold them was Motley Crue, and David Bowie used to own his, etc. How are they getting paid for these box sets if they don't own the masters?
Well, they still get money for the publishing because they wrote the songs. I mean, they don't own the masters. They're not selling the masters. They're selling their publishing rights.
Okay, so it's publishing. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hail and Kill.
There you go. Just call me Wendell Trunk.
All right, there you go.
So is the Rumble working or not working?
I think I'm going to rearrange it once we go to break because it is working, but it doesn't seem like it's on the CMS channel. It seems like it's on this is dumb. There's a classic metal channel, which is the overall hub for all of the channels.
Sure.
Then there's a CMS channel, and it seems like it's on the classic metal show channel and not the CMS channel.
Okay.
So whatever.
It's
I
there,
don't give
but
a.
it's just that people aren't finding it where they normally find it.
It's
Is
not
that
as
the
easy.
deal?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's too hard to type in classic metal show 42923 and click it. So again, during the break, I'll try and make it easier.
All right. Could you put that link in the chat room?
No. No, I can't.
Can you do that? Because I've already had a few too many to drink tonight, and I can't type that in.
And then once I do that, they'll be like, that link's too long to type.
All right. Well, we've had enough fun and games in the first segment. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was chatting today with our good friend Sammy Lee from the band Red Rain.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Rain has a new CD in the can, and I've had it for a couple of months now, and it's a very, very strong disc. And we, the Classic Metal Show, are going to debut a new song from the new Red Rain disc next Saturday in hour 2.
Nice. Very nice.
And our good friend Sammy Lee will come on, and he will talk about the new forthcoming release, and he'll introduce the new song. So if you're a fan of our friends Red Rain, you'll get to hear the brand new song here first. He basically said that until it gets debuted here on the CMS, nobody else is going to get it.
Look at that.
So we're gonna get the exclusive release of the new Red Rain song. So you'll get to hear it here first. And it'd always be good to speak with our friend Sammy Lee from Red Rain, and he'll tell us all the pains that they've had to go through to record a new CD, and what the plan is, and they're trying to line up some shows and get to play out, because as you're all aware, it's not an easy business to be out there and be kind of an older band. Not the band is old, but in your middle age, and have a wife and kids and other family responsibilities, and go out on the road and gig with your boys and release a CD and get some publicity and so on and so forth. So it's kind of juggling a lot,
right?
But they are true to their belief. They're true to their convictions, and musicians, and they have put together a very, very good disc, a very strong disc. And I think you'll be pleased once you get to hear it, if you're a fan of our friends Red Rain.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
I do agree. It's a great tune.
Yeah. So
I mean, if I had heard it, I would say it was a great tune. But
you haven't heard it?
I've heard it.
I know.
I have the album.
I was just like, what the hell?
No, I have the album.
What the hell are you talking about, Chris?
Well, he's your friend. I haven't poached him yet.
Oh, not yet.
I'm working on it.
I'm sure you are.
I am working on it.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll play a tune from Red Rain here to take us out of this segment here, and let me see here. What should I play? Let me play. Well, let's just play the song Red Rain.
It works for me. I need 5 this time, if you would.
Fine. 5 songs.
So that I could fix the rumble.
Okay. And if you want to get a request in, request at theclassicmetalshow.com. Request at theclassicmetalshow.com. All right, next Saturday night in the second hour, Red Rain will be on, debuting a brand new song. So here's Red Rain from their EP that they released, almost 6 years ago. And it is the song Red Rain, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.